الله أكبر 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 لا إله إلا الله والله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد. الحمد لله الذي سهل لعباده طرق العبادات ويسر لهم وتابع لهم مواسم الخيرات لتزداد أوقاتهم بالطاعات وتعمر. فمن قضى شهر الصيام حتى حلت شهور حج بيت الله الحرام المطهرة نحمده على أسمائه وصفاته ونعمه وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله أفضل من تعبد لله وصلى وزكى وصام وحج صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. All praises and thanks are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We thank Him for the blessings that He had bestowed upon us, for passing through this journey of fasting for 30 days, and today it has come to an end. And subhanallah, after the Ramadan comes to an end, there is yet another act of worship that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to do. He asks us to come out in our numbers, come and praise Him. وَلِتُكْمِلُ الْعِدَّةِ. He said, after you finish that 30 days of fasting, وَلِتُكَبِّرُ اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ. We all come out saying, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, and then وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ, and show our appreciation, show our thankfulness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Oh Allah, we are really grateful for this opportunity. Many are those who are looking for such an opportunity, but unfortunately for them, they are not part of those who are celebrating this day. So anyone who is able to see this day, all what you are supposed to do is to be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah, through His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, told Muslims that we have two consecutive Eid celebrations in Islam. Either Eid al-Fitr that we are celebrating today, or Eid al-Adha that will be coming in the 70 days to come. It is a day of happiness to each and every Muslim. No Muslim is supposed to be sad. No Muslim is supposed to be in any situation except in happiness. So even those who are not in possession of something that will make them happy, Islam had taught us to make sure we put smiles on their faces, such as the orphans who do not have their fathers in life. We have to make them feel as if their fathers are alive. And then the less privileged among us, those who don't have what to eat, Islam said we should make sure we give them enough so they will eat and be happy to come and pray with us together. Because this day, as we gathered here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask His angels. He asked them, who are those gathered in this particular masjid? They say, they are your servants. Why are they there? They said, they are there seeking your forgiveness. Why are they seeking my forgiveness? Because they are afraid of your punishment and they are willing to get your blessings. Then He asked them, have they ever seen the hellfire that they are afraid of? They said no. If they have seen it, they would have done better than what they are doing now. Have they ever seen the Jannah that they are seeking for? They said no. If they have ever seen it, they would have done better than what they are doing today. Then Allah will tell the angels, He says, Ishhadu, I want you all to bear witness that I have forgiven every single person on this ground. Allah Almighty will forgive all of us, except for somebody who has a misunderstanding or grudge between himself and his fellow Muslim. So when you have such grudges between yourself and somebody else, the best thing for you is to go and see that person, and as soon as possible, settle the grudges, and you will also get that forgiveness. May Allah forgive all of us. And then, brothers and sisters in Islam, it is important to note that although today is a day of happiness for all of us, but there is one thing that you should know. That is to make sure you put your parents ahead of everything. You have to give your parents total obedience, because it is the next in command after the obedience to Allah and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Go into the Quran. Wherever Allah is telling you to obey Him, He tells you, after you obey me and my Prophet, obey your parents. So obedience to parents is very important as far as Islam is concerned. And also, disobeying them is also one of the major sins that Allah Almighty said, when you do it, He will punish you. He says, "Ala unabbi'ukum bi akbaril kaba'ir." Shouldn't I tell you one of some of the major sins that one can commit? They say, "Bala ya Rasulallah." He says, "Al-ishraku billah," committing shirk, worshipping something apart from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, associating Allah with partners. And he says, "Wa uququl walidain," and then also being rude and aggressive to your parents. Subhanallah, my fellow brothers and sisters in Islam, whoever finds his parents alive this day, the best thing for you is to seek your Jannah from them. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "Al-Jannatu tahta aqdamil ummahat." Your Jannah rests beneath the feet of your parents. So to get your Jannah, you have to follow them and be able to raise that feet of theirs so you can go to Jannah. May Allah give us Jannah together. And then we have to also do what we can do best to reach our relatives. Do not cut them. If he is your uncle, today is the best day for you to take your phone, at least call him. Eid al-Mubarak. He is your friend, call him. Eid al-Mubarak. That's your mother, call her. If you cannot go to her, maybe because of distance, they are all the way in Africa, call them and send your greetings to them. Call them and send your Eid greetings to them. This is one of the best things Islam had taught us. Brothers and sisters in Islam, we are today in a happy day. We are today in a happy day, and Islam had encouraged us to be happy. But in happiness, you have to be measured in being happy. You have to be very careful in being happy. You don't go overboard. You don't over-celebrate. He says, وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا وَلَا تُسْرِفُوا. You can eat as much as you can. You can drink as much as you can, but do not go overboard. Don't eat more than what you are able to. Don't drink more than what you can drink. Do not do the happiness. Do not celebrate this Eid to the extent that you go overboard and go and what? Disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Islam had taught you how to celebrate. There is nothing like going to club because you are celebrating Eid. You have to be modest in your dressing. You dress nicely. Our sisters, please, many of you will not be recognized today. Even your sister, if you look at her today, if care is not taken, you wouldn't know that is your sister. Why? She had changed her color. She had used something to paint her face that you cannot even recognize her. It's not part of our religion, sister. Shaitan, when Allah sent him out of the heavens, what did he tell Allah? He says, I will make sure I convince them to change your creation. وَلَآمُرَنَّهُمْ فَلَيُغَيِّرُنَّ خَلْقَ اللَّهِ. Dress nicely. Wear the best outfit that you can wear. But don't wear anything that Islam disapproves of. Like adding another hair to your hair is haram. Like putting on eyelashes, sister, is haram. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, La'anallahu al-wasilata wal-mustawsila. Anyone who does that, and anyone who is doing it for her, Allah Almighty has cursed all of you. May Allah Almighty prevent us all. Our sisters, our mothers, please, let's take care of our homes. Let's take care of our children, and let's take care of our husbands, because it is a responsibility that Allah Almighty had put in on us. We have to obey this responsibility so that we get what? The acceptance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Brothers and sisters in Islam, fasting of the month of Ramadan has come to an end. But that does not bring to end fasting in Islam. We have many fastings that Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam encouraged us to do. We have different kind of fasting. He says, Man sama Ramadana imanan wa ihtisaban, thumma atba'ahu bi sittin min shawwalin, asbaha kaman sama ad-dahr. Rasul says, whoever fasts the month of Ramadan, seeking the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and after that he followed it up with 6 days in the month of Shawwal, you are rewarded as if you fasted for the whole year. So brothers are encouraged to start as quickly as possible. Now that you are used to the system of fasting, before you get used to eating again, try as much as you can within these 30 days to fast your day of Shawwal, 6 days, and you are done. And then Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had encouraged us also to be fasting on Mondays and Thursdays. He says, Monday, because that is the day I was given birth to, so I fast on that day. And then on Thursday, he said, because that is the day that your deeds for the week are taken to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and added to your fast. So I want my deeds to be taken to Allah whilst I'm fasting. We have different kind of fasting. The white days of every month, the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th of every month, the Islamic calendar. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had encouraged us to be fasting these days. We have the fasting of Yawm Ashura, fi shahrillahi al-Muharram, in the first month of Muharram, or the 9th day and the 10th day. Why? Because it is a great day. It is in that month that Allah Almighty rescued Musa and his people from the evil of Fir'aun. It is in that day that Namrud and his people nearly burnt Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam, when Allah said, قُلْنَا يَا نَارُ كُونِي بَرْدًا وَسَلَامًا عَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ. That is the month of Allah al-Muharram. It is encouraged that we fast 2 days in this month. And then brothers and sisters in Islam, our Qiyamul Layl has also not come to an end. Qiyamul Layl continues because it is a command from Allah to Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and by so doing is also a command to us. He says, وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَتَهَجَّدْ بِهِ نَافِلَةً لَكَ عَسَىٰ أَن يَبْعَثَكَ رَبُّكَ مَقَامًا مَحْمُودًا. Allah Almighty had encouraged Rasul to be praying in the night. So we all are also encouraged to be praying in the night. And then the sadaqat that you are giving, you still have to continue giving it. The same Allah that is in the month of Ramadan is also the same Allah in the month of Shawwal, Zulqa'dah, and all the other months. So the same way and the same effort you used to worship Allah within, you have to worship Allah in the rest of the month. He says, وَعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. You have to worship Allah up until the day you leave this earth. May Allah take us in a situation where He is pleased with us. بارك الله لي ولكم في الكتاب العظيم ونفعني وإياكم لما فيه من الآيات والذكر. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله. الحمد لله وكفى والصلاة والسلام على نبيه المصطفى. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين. اللهم أعيد علينا رمضان أعواما عديدة وأزمنة مديدة. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم، وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم ربنا تقبل منا صيامنا، اللهم ربنا تقبل منا قيامنا، اللهم ربنا تقبل منا صدقاتنا، اللهم ربنا تقبل منا تلاوتنا، اللهم ربنا تقبل منا صلتنا للأرحام، اللهم ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. ربنا اغفر لنا ولوالدينا ولأساتذتنا ولأئمتنا ولمن له حق علينا ولمن أوصانا بالدعاء ومن أوصيناه بالدعاء برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم اغفر لجميع موتى المسلمين الذين شهدوا لك بالوحدانية ولنبيك بالرسالة وماتوا على ذلك، اللهم اغفر لهم وارحمهم وعافهم واعف عنهم وأكرم نزلهم ووسع مدخلهم، اللهم اغسلهم بالماء والثلج والبرد ونقهم من الذنوب والخطايا كما ينقى الثوب الأبيض من الدنس، اللهم إن كانوا محسنين فزد في إحسانهم وإن كانوا مسيئين فتجاوز عن سيئاتهم، اللهم جازهم بالإحسان إحسانا وبالسيئات عفوا وغفرانا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد، وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. وكل عام وأنتم بخير، وكل عام وأنتم بخير، وكل عام وأنتم بخير. تقبل الله منا ومنكم صالح الأعمال، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Forgive the order, okay? Forgive me, okay?